Your calculation for planning materiality, nothing too tricky here. I don't think we need to spend much time. We first choose our figures. Obviously the draft are going to be better because they incorporate everything that took place in the current year. We're looking at our benchmarks, the only two that are available. And here we actually say conclude on total assets because they are asset intense. Do my calculation and conclude on the lower amount because of the increased fraud risk. Risks at the financial statement level, you get all of yours for the risk because they have a group. Easy enough. And then in terms of the company, we've got the foreign regulations because they import. We've got the going concern, we've got the listing and the fact that the audited financials are required for that. The control environment because of decentralization and then the management integrity. And then I've got under both the issues with regards to my audit team and the two that affect the tight deadline. Okay, risk for inventory. I've split it up into raw materials, finished goods, but when we work through it, I split it up according to assertions. So either way, you want to have your assertions relevant. So for accuracy of the purchases, and then I say on hand at year end, then makes it valuation. Okay, because for purchases that are not on hand at year end, they don't form part of the inventory balance, and therefore you can't be discussing a balance risk. It's important that you understand why we're doing purchases but discussing it as part of an inventory balance. Okay, and using balance assertions, it's because they have to form part of that at year end. But there you go, you've got your easy translation and then the cost that you can capitalize or shouldn't capitalize. Completeness because of goods in transit. Valuation for the FIFO. Then your finished goods existence, they could steal, and then something specific to the information in question. They've got multiple plants, but then they've got one central warehouse for distribution, which means the goods need to travel from the plants to the central warehouse to be distributed. In that situation, they could be counted here at the plant and then at the warehouse. There could be double counting, existence of the goods. Then for your inventory valuation, I say to the requirement that it's measured at low of cost, and then all my complexities around the fact that they have standard costing as their option. My detailed plan, again, nice and simple. My approach, I choose it because they've got a computerized information system, so substantive alone might not be sufficient. So my nature, test of controls and substantive, I say maybe I want to get a evaluator because your finished goods might be complex because of the standard costing, and CATs because they have the computer information system. Because it's taking place in the month of March, it will take place at year end. Test of controls throughout the year though, even though I'm doing them at year end. And then my extent, increasing the risks, so decreasing materiality. And then finally, to all assertions, there is management's presence and supervision, so I'm going to put it there. In my solution, a few more I put under this. The fact that there is the segregation of duties. The fact that there is that recon by the sales manager. Otherwise, for occurrence, the following that reduce the risk, credit-worthy, delivery driver signing and checking, gate control signing and checking, customer signing and checking. But that weaken it is that the first or the second delivery note is used, and that's before the customer actually accepts the goods. For accuracy, they've gone and said, again, both of those two risks earlier, the reconciling, and then the second copy is reconciled to the first. Completeness, the recon, but then also there's no pre-numbered documents. There's no additional risks here for those access control guides, but that's why it's so important to know everything that should be in the cycle, because when you put them down, you pick up the problems. Okay, very nice question covering pretty much your whole scope. The only thing I didn't get to was pre-engagement, but I feel like you should be quite comfortable with pre-engagement. That's why I've left it off. There's a good chance you get a small question on it, so don't leave it out because I've left it out here. Super guys, I'll see you next week for the last mock test.